Hello everyone, I'm Dipali. My student ID is 23084484. Our group will be presenting a case study analysis on digital marketing and consumer outcomes, and I will be covering introduction and the context. This presentation begins by looking into the morality of digital marketing, specifically how it can manipulate consumer behavior, often the subtle and unchecked ways. At the core of the case study and the three key threats are hyper targeting, invasive surveillance of consumer privacy, and the growing use of indistinct persuasion where marketing becomes nearly invisible but deeply influential. The study uses the diffusion of innovation theory and its main framework. It helps explain how new digital marketing strategies spread and more importantly how these strategies gradually normalize manipulated practice within the industry. The ethnic concern is only consumers are being targeted, but this is kind of manipulation is being standard, especially in highly competitive market like UK in our aim to critically assess the normalization process and to question whether marketing innovation is being prioritized over ethical responsibility. Let's move into the next slide. Context. Now, to understand the context, we firstly need to recognize the strong reliance of UK consumer, where making everyday purchasing decision according to Statista 2025, the reliance growing is growing and it become deeply embedded in the consumer experience from personalized ad to product recommendation on social platform. However, this increasing dependency has brought about serious ethics challenges as Mitra and down 2025 point out many current practice trend fine line between influence and the acceleration. This part of the study explored how persuasive technologies are shaping consumer decision making, particularly in ways that consumer may not fully understand or even notice. The ethnic tension arises from this imbalance where one party, the maker, hold more data, more power, and more influence than the average consumer. By highlighting these issues, the research does not argue against digital marketing altogether, but rather aim to strike a balance between maintaining the economic and the social benefit of marketing and ensure that consumer protection remain at the forefront. Moving to the next slide, slide 3, context. To support this investigation, we relied the secondary data and the industry reports. These sources help paint the clear picture of how digital marketing is evolving and where the ethnic boundaries are being tested. According to Statista 2025, digital advertising in the UK reached according record 36 billion in 2024. That's three times the amount of 2017. And this rapid growth illustrates not only the dominance of digital marketing but also the relaxation of its reach and influence. To make sense of the data, the study applied the thematic analysis based on the method developed by Brown and Clegg as published in ResearchGate 2025. This approach helped uncover patterns in how market ethics are discussed and more clearly where conflict emerge. This analysis allow the research to remain disciplined yet flexible, capturing the nuances of the fast unveiling field. It revealed core tense while technology innovation is celebrated in marketing ethnic reflection often lags behind. Ultimately, the methodology gave structure to an issue that is both fluid and deeply complex, showing how digital marketing is actively reshaping the ethical environment, one innovation at a time. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, I am Devika Chandran. My student ID 230922121 and I will be covering evidence of data sources, theoretical framework and potential solutions. Slide 4, evidence of data sources. Digital marketing is becoming increasingly data informed but also more ethically complex. According to Mitra and Ron 2025, the line between persuasion and personalization is becoming blurred. This raises important ethical questions, like especially regarding honesty and consumer privacy. What we are seeing is that while business demand measurable result from campaigns, advertising agencies often push the boundaries. They innovate beyond traditional digital advertising using interactive and hyper targeted techniques to reach consumers more directly. As one 2024 point out, this shift is partly about staying competitive but also about leading market trends. Interestingly, this aggressive use of data does not always benefit business in the long term. A growing body of research, including Sharabadi et al. 2024, shows that as consumer awareness of marketing tactics increases, impulsive buying behaviors are beginning to decline. Consumers are becoming more skeptical and conscious about how they are being targeted. Which means, so, what does this mean for marketers? It suggests a need to re-evaluate how data is used not just for effectiveness but also for ethical alignment with public expectations. Moving on to slide 5, we apply theoretical grounding to understand these practices. First, consider this statistic. UK digital advertising spend has surpassed 26 billion according to Statista 2025. This shows the sheer scale and investment in this space, and with about 70% of UK SMEs relying on data driven ads. Sharabadi et al. 2024, it's clear that data is no longer optional, it's the backbone of digital marketing. To understand this adoption trend, we turn to the diffusion of innovations theory. This model explains how new technologies or ideas spread across society from a few innovators and early adapters to eventually becoming a norm among the early and late majority. In the context of digital marketing, AI driven hyper targeting first gained traction among leading companies looking for a competitive edge. As these campaigns provide more effective, business followed suit, eventually establishing these tactics as standard industry practice. However, as Mitra and Dawn 2025 emphasize, hyper targeting raises serious ethical issues, particularly around privacy, consent, and manipulation. The challenge now is to balance technological innovation with ethical responsibility. So, what this slide really tells us is that while data driven advertising has diffused successfully across the market, it has done so without fully resolving these ethical implications. Finally, in slide 6, we explore the potential solutions for navigating the ethical tensions of data driven marketing. The first recommendation is to cultivate an analytical consumer mindset. In other words, we should equip consumers with the tools to critically engage with digital content. Can reduce the risk of manipulation by hyper targeted campaigns and encourage more thoughtful decision making. Secondly, as Nininen 2022 argues, brands should foster open conversations with their audiences. This means moving beyond one way communication and instead encouraging transparency, dialogue, and even collaborative content creation. Third, interactive marketing should be reimagined, not as a tool to convince, but as a way to educate. If consumers understand why certain messages are being shown to them, they are in a better position to access and respond appropriately. The theoretical model used here demonstrate the value is so created and the intersection of organization strategy and consumer awareness. When marketing is framed as a narrative, not just a pitch, it creates space for reflection. In this context, consumer organizations such as advocacy groups or regulators can play a critical role in facilitating these open conversations. By combining empirical data with theoretical frameworks, marketers can create consumer centric strategies. They are both effective and ethical responsible. That conclude my slides. Now I would like to hand over to my colleague.
In this slide, I am going to talk about the data analysis, analytical tools and approaches. As you can see that in this slide denotes that the method of analysis entitled coding and organizing data through a logistical process that identified major themes or issues, namely privacy issues, customers issues, consumer manipulations, and spreading digital strategies. Thematic analysis added in funding patterns in practitioners the relevant source of both academic and practitioners, providing organized answer to how digital marketing practice are proliferated and why ethical tensions occur. In these slides, we have different phases and applied 6 steps thematic analysis by Brown and Clark. Interpreted secondary information on online trade ethics, and these ethics are a type of 6 phases in which we are familiar we have to familiar. Now I'm going to tell you about the limitations in data analysis. Digital marketing is continuously changing due to emerging technologies. Social media increases interactions and bring complications. In this slide, you can see that this slide presents under such a dynamic and complicated environment. There can never be a phenomena solutions to ethical issues in digital marketing. The new tools and interacting platforms continue to relocate and means of consumer engagement. Applying method of thematic analysis can lead to the pre-perceptions of patterns, but a broader view allows one to see that the digital marketing system is dynamic system affected by trends, innovations and consumer behaviors. ecosystem make distinctions between persuasions and value creations. These, like tools applying the method of thematic analysis, can lead the perceptions of patterns. These patterns and data analysis and limitations. In this slide, I am going to talk about the potentials options in data analysis. There are some ethics and potentials options. There are ethics in AI. First of all, we have privacy. Ensure there is no leak or personal confidential information. And then we have accountability. In this accountability, the team working with AI must own the responsibility of decision taken and the consequences. After this, we have like safety, transparency, respect for human values, and after all this, we have fairness. In this slide, you can see that this slide presents that in the future, digital marketing can develop in the form of a tighter diffusion and AI examinations and platform dedicated to informed interactions over simple persuasions. The embedding of ethical AI and analogous procedures appear to be the two of the most feasible among those. These might assist marketers and different consumer confidence so that the marketing campaigns do not violate their autonomy but also accommodate the rapidly evolving technologies and social media phenomena. Ethical AI could track targeting behaviors. Thematic analysis can monitor the change of consumer concern and all these researchers these might assist marketings that finding a balance between innovations and consumer confidence so that the marketing campaigns do not violate their anatomy. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Umar Naim Bhatt and my student ID is 230945338. I am going to explain my part. My first slide is data analysis, short term and long term of direction. Here is some types of digital marketing I put on the slide. The first one is influencer marketing. The second one is viral marketing. The third one is mobile marketing. The fourth one is radio and TV advertisement, electronic billboards. The next one is search engine optimization. The next one is pay per click, and the next one is social media marketing like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, content marketing, email marketing as well. As you see on the slide, short-term measures to promote understanding by the mean of special lessons and consistent thematical studies that make UK consumer doubtful about a convincing approach to the digital marketing industry. In the long run, integrating ethical artificial intelligence tools and transparency regulation in the industry, it is a cheap source of electricity that could transform a more moral approach to marketing consensus generation and delivery, where innovation and ethics can be balanced. So, looking ahead, however, the integration of ethical artificial intelligence tools in slide and regulatory transparency in digital marketing, especially when supported by access to cheap electricity, which can lower operational cost, holds the premises of reshaping the industry. So these are the data analysis, short and long term, of the set of direction. Next one is conclusion. So in conclusion, you can see digital marketing for strategies for brand awareness, in which the first one is social media marketing, the next one is content marketing, the third one is search engine optimization, the fourth one is PPC, and the last one is email marketing. This slide concludes that the analysis disproves that there is definitive solution to the ethical issues in digital marketing. Thematical issues brought attention to the fact that privacy, manipulation, and trust, remain the central issues. Still the solution to the digital marketing. Some issues you can face in the future, such as ethical artificial intelligence or consumer education, needs to remain dynamic because external factors such as new rules, new policies, upcoming policies of the platform, or events, events worldwide might change the scope and influence of the digital marketing, quite very quickly. So, however, addressing these issues requires more than just one-time solution. Approaches like artificial intelligence implementation and consumer education must be dynamic and responsive to change. So these are the conclusion, and the next slide is recommendation. In recommendation, you see company level, customer level, and societal and environmental level. We put like non-maleficence here, justice, accessibility, autonomy, and beneficence. This slide presents in the upcoming future, the following measures may assist in reconciliation between innovation and consumer protection. Starting to deploy, ethical artificial intelligence, informing people about the artificial intelligence, inform people about hyper targeting and examining the new trends, upcoming trends, uh, examining the new trends continuously. Nevertheless, all the recommendation uh, are uncertain. Changes in regulation, events or technology may easily transform marketing activities and consumer behavior. So it has to be recognized that any solution will need, we need to be flexible and to be changed to be responsive. So these are recommendation. Additionally, continuously, monitoring new trends and development in technology development, and marketing strategies will allow companies, they are allowing companies to regulate, to respond quickly to emerging challenges and ensuring that marketing practices remain ethical and the consumer focus. So the next one is references. So here are the all references. So you can see I put some references here for you, and the next one is bibliography. So these are the all bibliography for you. I put some here, link as well. So these are our presentation, and thank you very much.